Welcome back to Trending Tidbits. This time, um, we're going to look beyond just getting folks online
Okay.
and exploring how affordable connectivity programs
Yeah.
can really supercharge local economies.
Interesting.
Yeah, we're going to be diving into some excerpts from Bridging the Divide,
Okay.
a report by SW and Associates.
All right.
What's really exciting about this is it's not just about internet access.
Right.
It's
Yeah.
about this ripple effect that could really transform communities.
Yeah. It is fascinating how this report kind of reframes the whole conversation. Instead of just talking about, the individual benefits,
Right.
it highlights internet access as a core economic driver,
Yeah.
especially at that local level.
Interesting.
We often talk about the digital divide, as the societal issue,
Right.
but it's so deeply intertwined with economic opportunity.
Yeah, you're right. It's not just about, being able to catch up on social media or whatever.
Yeah.
It's about participating in the modern economy.
Yeah.
So before we get into the specifics of ACPs,
Okay.
could you maybe break down why this digital divide is such a big deal,
Sure.
economically speaking?
Yeah. Think of it this way. Without reliable internet, it's like trying to run a business in the dark ages.
Wow, yeah.
Education is increasingly, online job applications are almost exclusively digital,
Right.
and telehealth is reshaping healthcare access.
Mm-hmm.
This divide isn't just inconvenient,
Yeah.
it shuts people out of essential services and opportunities.
So ACPs are trying to bridge this gap and bring everyone into the, 21st century economy.
Yeah.
How do these programs actually work?
Well, at their core, ACPs aim to make internet affordable
Okay.
for low-income households.
Mhm.
They do this through a variety of methods, like offering subsidies
Oh, yeah.
or partnering with internet service providers
Right.
to create low-cost plans.
Mhm.
The idea is to level the playing field
Yes.
and give everyone a shot at connecting.
And that connection, as this report suggests,
Yeah.
can have some pretty remarkable effects on the local economy. First, where do we start to see these positive impacts emerge?
Well, one of the most immediate impacts is the potential to boost online commerce.
Okay.
With more residents online, they can participate in the digital economy,
Mhm.
shopping online, comparing prices,
Right.
and accessing a wider array of goods and services.
Okay, so that's great for businesses, with a website or an online store.
Sure.
But wouldn't this also create more competition
Yeah.
for those same local businesses?
Yeah.
Especially those who haven't fully embraced the whole online thing.
That's a valid concern.
Yeah.
The report acknowledges that increased online shopping could be challenging
Right.
for local businesses without a strong online presence.
Hmm.
Interestingly, a 2022 IMRG report found that consumers still spend significantly in physical stores,
Okay.
so it's not an immediate wipeout.
Right.
However, it underscores the need for local businesses to adapt.
Okay.
Municipalities can offer workshops on e-commerce,
Yeah.
help businesses set up online stores, and provide guidance on digital marketing.
So ACPs could be a wake-up call for some businesses,
Yeah.
pushing them to get online or risk getting left behind.
For sure.
It's not just about access, but also about adapting to the changing landscape.
Right.
But beyond online shopping, what other economic benefits do we see from these programs?
Well, job creation is another significant upside.
Okay.
As the local digital economy expands,
Yeah.
so does the need for individuals who can support it.
Right.
We're talking about jobs in tech support, web development, digital marketing, the
Uh-huh.
entire spectrum.
Yeah.
A 2015 Brookings Institution report highlighted this link
Okay.
between broadband adoption and job growth,
Hmm.
especially in those knowledge-based industries.
So it's not just about shifting spending online,
Right.
but about creating entirely new opportunities.
Exactly.
That's pretty exciting.
Exciting. It is.
What other areas see positive effects?
Well, education and healthcare are two crucial ones.
Okay.
ACPs can provide easier access to online educational resources,
Mhm.
which is game-changing, especially in areas where traditional options might be limited.
Right.
Think about students in rural communities suddenly being able to access world-class educational materials.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's powerful.
A 2019 study by Kahn and others actually found that online learning platforms
Yeah.
can significantly improve educational outcomes,
Hmm.
particularly for students in geographically isolated areas.
It's almost like leveling the playing field for education.
Yeah.
I can see how powerful that would be.
Yeah.
And what about the healthcare side of things?
Well, reliable internet opens the door to telehealth.
Okay.
Imagine being able to consult with a specialist without needing to travel long distances.
Yeah.
A 2020 study by Sarker and others pointed out the potential cost savings of telehealth.
Wow.
Not to mention increased access to specialists for people in underserved areas.
Yeah.
It's not just an economic win, but a significant improvement in people's well-being.
Okay, so we've got a potential boost in online commerce, job creation, improved education, and expanded healthcare access. It all sounds very promising.
It does.
But I know the report also takes a realistic look at potential challenges.
Right. It's important to address those head on.
Yeah.
We've touched on how increased online shopping, while beneficial for some, could pressure local businesses that haven't established a robust online presence.
So it's about helping those businesses make that transition
Right.
and not get swept away by the tide.
Exactly.
What other challenges should we be aware of?
A major one is the need for digital literacy training.
Okay.
Just having access isn't enough.
Right.
People need the skills to use the internet effectively.
Yeah.
Imagine trying to apply for a job
Well, yeah.
or navigate a complex website without basic computer skills.
You're absolutely right. A 2018 Pew Research Center study found that a significant portion of the population lacks even those basic digital literacy skills.
It's true.
Without those skills, people might not fully benefit from these programs.
Exactly. That's why the report emphasizes the need for upskilling initiatives
Right.
in tandem with ACPs.
Yeah.
It's about empowering individuals to truly participate in the digital world, not just passively consume it.
So we've explored some of the potential benefits and hurdles.
We have.
Now let's dive into solutions.
Okay.
How can these ACPs be funded sustainably?
Right.
I'm guessing relying solely on federal funds isn't a long-term strategy.
You're spot on. The report offers some innovative recommendations for diversifying those funding sources.
Okay.
One idea is public-private partnerships,
Right.
where municipalities collaborate with internet service providers to co-fund these initiatives.
Yeah.
It's a win-win. ISPs expand their customer base,
Right.
while communities benefit from increased connectivity.
It seems like a smart way to leverage the resources and expertise of
Yeah.
both sectors.
Absolutely.
What other options are out there?
Well, some municipalities might consider building their own broadband networks.
Wow.
This requires a considerable initial investment,
I imagine. Yep.
but it gives them more control over pricing
Yeah.
and ensures the network is tailored to local needs.
So it's like taking ownership
Yeah,
and baking digital equity right into the system.
exactly.
Then there's the possibility of reallocating existing budget surpluses or funds from underutilized programs toward ACP development.
Right.
It's about finding creative ways to make it work.
For sure.
I imagine some communities might also explore fees or taxes
Yeah.
specifically dedicated to funding these programs.
Yes. Small technology surcharges on business licenses
Okay.
or digital access fees added to internet bills could be considered.
Yeah.
However, these approaches require careful consideration
Right.
to avoid disproportionately impacting low-income residents.
That's a crucial point.
Yeah.
You don't want to create a new burden
Right.
for the very people ACPs are designed to help.
Exactly.
What are some alternative options that could avoid that pitfall?
Fundraising and grants are always worth exploring.
Oh.
Municipalities can seek support from philanthropic organizations, foundations, and nonprofit groups invested in closing the digital divide.
Okay.
Additionally, there are often state or regional grant programs
Right.
that offer funding for these types of initiatives.
So it's about tapping into those resources
Yeah.
that align with the mission of digital inclusion.
For sure.
It sounds like a multifaceted approach is key.
Absolutely. The key takeaway is that there isn't a one-size-fits-all solution.
Right.
Every municipality must assess its own situation, weigh the pros and cons,
Yeah.
and choose the funding strategy that best fits its needs and resources.
It's about being strategic and resourceful.
Exactly.
Funding is essential,
It is.
but it's only part of the equation.
Right.
What other policy recommendations does the report suggest
Okay.
to ensure the success of these programs?
This is where things get really interesting.
Okay.
The report goes beyond the nuts and bolts of funding and addresses the bigger picture.
Okay.
For example, it stresses the importance of local partnerships.
Right.
Municipalities can collaborate not only with internet service providers,
Right.
but also with community organizations
Okay.
to develop effective digital literacy programs.
Because providing access is only the first step.
Right.
You need to equip people with the skills
Exactly.
to actually use that access in a meaningful way.
Precisely. These programs can empower residents to navigate the online world confidently, boosting their ability to participate in the digital economy,
Right.
access educational resources, and engage in a wide range of online activities.
Okay.
And remember those local businesses we talked about earlier?
Yes.
The report suggests initiatives to help them establish a solid online presence.
Things like workshops on e-commerce strategies,
Yeah.
social media marketing, even website development.
You got it.
It's about supporting them as they transition to a more digital marketplace.
It's a holistic approach connecting individuals, equipping them with the right skills, and empowering local businesses to thrive in this new environment.
It sounds like a comprehensive strategy.
It is.
What other policy recommendations jumped out at you?
The report highlights the importance of data collection and monitoring.
Okay.
It stresses the need for longitudinal studies to track the impact of ACPs on local economies.
To see if these programs are actually moving the needle
Exactly.
on those key economic indicators.
We need to know if they are truly generating those jobs,
Right.
boosting local businesses and improving educational outcomes.
Yeah.
This data is crucial for informing future program development,
Right.
guiding resource allocation, and ensuring that ACPs are maximizing their positive economic impact.
So it's about being data-driven.
Yes.
And making sure these programs are achieving what they set out to do.
Precisely.
Now, we've covered a lot of ground here.
We have.
Before we wrap up this part of our exploration
Okay.
of ACPs and their impact on local economies, any final thoughts?
I think the most important takeaway is that affordable connectivity programs are just one piece of a much larger puzzle.
Okay.
They're a crucial step towards bridging the digital divide,
Right.
but their success depends on careful planning, collaboration, and a commitment to addressing those potential challenges proactively.
Yeah.
It's about being proactive, not reactive, and ensuring everyone benefits from a more inclusive digital future.
Well said. We'll continue our Trending Tidbits exploration of
Okay.
ACPs and local economies after a quick message.
Sounds good.
Stay tuned.
Welcome back to Trending Tidbits. Before the break, we were discussing, the potential of affordable connectivity programs to boost local economies,
Yeah.
specifically the different funding strategies. I'd like to delve a little deeper into some of the approaches outlined in the SW and Associates report.
Yeah. I'm particularly intrigued by the idea of municipal broadband networks.
Okay,
It seems like a bold move,
it is.
but also potentially game-changing.
Yeah.
Can you walk me through the pros and cons?
Sure, it's a hot topic for a reason.
Yeah.
Imagine a city or town building its own internet infrastructure,
Or
becoming its own internet service provider.
wow.
This gives them direct control over pricing, allowing them to offer affordable plans,
Right.
especially to low-income residents.
Okay.
They can prioritize local needs
Yeah.
and ensure the network serves the entire community,
Yeah.
not just the most profitable areas.
It's like taking ownership
Yeah,
and baking digital equity right into the system.
exactly.
But I imagine there's some major hurdles too, right?
Oh, yeah.
It can't be that simple.
You're right. It's not a walk in the park.
Okay.
The biggest obstacle is the initial cost.
Yeah.
Building a robust broadband network requires a significant upfront investment, something many municipalities might struggle with.
Right.
Then there's the ongoing maintenance and upgrades,
Yeah.
which can also be costly.
So it's a long-term commitment,
Yeah,
not a quick fix.
exactly.
And I'm guessing it requires a lot of specialized expertise.
Absolutely. You need skilled engineers and technicians to build and maintain the network. You need people who understand the complexities of internet service provision.
Right.
Some municipalities might have that expertise in-house,
Yeah.
but many will need to hire or contract out,
Yeah.
adding to the overall cost.
And let's not forget the potential pushback
Oh, yeah,
from existing internet service providers.
for sure.
They're not just going to sit back and watch their market share disappear.
You're raising a crucial point.
Yeah.
There's likely to be resistance from incumbent ISPs.
Yeah.
They might lobby against municipal broadband, arguing it's unfair competition, or will stifle innovation.
Okay.
They might even engage in price wars to undercut the municipal network.
Wow.
So it's not just about the technical and financial aspects,
Right.
but navigating a complex political landscape as well.
It sounds like a bold move,
It is.
but not one to be taken lightly.
Right.
What about public-private partnerships? They seem like a less radical,
Yeah.
more collaborative approach.
Mhm.
How do those typically work?
Well, public-private partnerships,
Right.
or PPPs,
Okay.
are all about finding that sweet spot
Mhm.
between the public and private sectors.
Mm-hmm.
In this context, a municipality might partner with an existing internet service provider
Okay.
to expand broadband access.
Right.
The city or town might contribute funding,
Okay.
provide access to public infrastructure,
Mm-hmm.
or streamline permitting processes,
Okay.
while the ISP brings its technical expertise
Yeah.
and existing network infrastructure to the table.
So it's about pooling resources and expertise
Exactly.
to achieve a common goal.
A shared goal, yeah.
What are the main advantages of this approach?
Well, it can be less risky and less costly for the municipality
Okay.
than building its own network from scratch.
Right.
You're leveraging the ISP's existing infrastructure and know-how,
Mm-hmm.
which can speed up deployment
Yeah.
and reduce those upfront costs. Plus, you're tapping into their expertise in marketing, customer service,
Yeah.
and all the other aspects of running an internet service business.
It also seems like a good way to get buy-in from the private sector,
Yeah.
potentially reducing the risk of pushback or legal challenges.
Yeah, sure.
But are there any downsides to these partnerships?
Of course, one concern is ensuring the partnership truly serves the needs of the community,
Okay.
not just the ISP's bottom line.
Right.
You need clear agreements on pricing, service, quality, and coverage areas,
Mm-hmm.
especially in those underserved communities that might not be as profitable for the ISP.
Right.
Transparency and accountability are key to making these partnerships work.
So it's about finding the right partner,
Yeah.
negotiating a fair deal,
Mm-hmm.
and making sure everyone is held accountable for delivering on those promises
Absolutely.
of affordable and reliable internet access.
For sure.
What about the idea of reallocating funds from existing programs?
Okay.
That seems like a budget-friendly option,
It is.
but I imagine it can be controversial.
It definitely requires careful consideration.
Yeah.
The idea is to identify programs that might be underperforming or have surplus funds and redirect those resources toward ACP development.
Okay.
It's a way to prioritize digital inclusion
Yeah.
without necessarily increasing the overall budget.
It's about making tough choices
Yeah.
and recognizing how vital internet access is in today's world.
For sure.
But I can see how it could lead to pushback
Oh, yeah.
from those who support those existing programs.
Absolutely. Anytime you talk about reallocating funds, there will be concerns.
Right.
It's crucial to have those conversations transparently
Mhm.
and involve the community in the decision-making process.
Yeah.
Explain why digital inclusion is so crucial for economic growth, education, healthcare, and
Yeah.
overall well-being.
Okay.
Make the case that these funds will have a greater impact
Yeah.
if used to bridge the digital divide.
It's about building consensus
Right.
and demonstrating the long-term benefits of investing in digital equity.
For sure.
We've talked about public-private partnerships, municipal broadband, and reallocating funds.
Right.
Are there any other funding solutions worth considering?
The report also highlights the potential of philanthropy and grants.
Okay.
Many foundations and nonprofit organizations are dedicated to closing the digital divide.
Right.
They often offer grants to support broadband expansion projects, digital literacy programs, or initiatives that help low-income families afford internet access.
So it's about tapping into those resources that align with the mission of digital inclusion.
Yeah.
Are there specific types of organizations or programs that communities should be looking for?
There are a surprising number of organizations focused on this.
Okay.
For example, some focus on specific demographics, like supporting internet access for seniors or rural communities.
Right.
Others might focus on digital literacy training or providing devices to low-income families.
Okay.
It's worth doing some research to see what's available in your region.
It sounds like it's worth casting a wide net.
It is.
Now, I'm curious about those technology surcharges and digital access fees
Okay.
the report mentions.
Yeah.
They seem like a straightforward way to generate revenue,
Mhm.
but I imagine there are concerns about fairness.
You're right. The idea is to add a small surcharge to things like business licenses or internet bills,
Okay.
with those funds dedicated to supporting ACPs.
Right.
It can be an effective way to generate a steady stream of revenue, but it's crucial to do it in a way that doesn't disproportionately burden low-income residents.
Because ultimately, you don't want to undermine the very programs you're trying to fund.
Exactly.
What are some ways to ensure fairness and avoid those unintended consequences?
One approach is to structure the surcharge or fee in a way that exempts or reduces the burden on those below a certain income threshold.
Right.
You could also offer tax credits or rebates to offset the impact on low-income households.
Okay.
It's about finding that balance between generating revenue and protecting those most in need.
It's about designing these funding mechanisms thoughtfully.
Yeah.
And with an eye towards equity.
For sure.
We've explored a range of funding solutions.
Yeah.
From the bold to the pragmatic.
Right.
Any final thoughts on this aspect of ACP implementation before we move on?
The key takeaway is that there's no one-size-fits-all solution.
Okay.
Each municipality needs to carefully evaluate its own circumstances.
Right.
Consider the pros and cons of each approach.
Yeah.
And choose the funding strategy that aligns with its needs, resources, and
Yeah.
community values.
Okay.
It's about being strategic, creative,
Right.
and committed to finding a way to make those ACPs a reality.
Well said. We'll be right back to delve deeper into the policy recommendations that can help these programs thrive and truly transform local economies.
Welcome back to Trending Tidbits. We've been exploring the, really exciting potential of affordable connectivity programs
Right.
to revitalize local economies.
Yeah.
Now let's maybe kind of shift gears a little bit
Okay.
and focus on those policy recommendations that can truly magnify the impact of these ACPs.
We've talked about funding being, crucial.
Yeah.
But I'm really interested in these other policy recommendations.
Okay.
What else can communities do to make sure these programs are successful?
Well, it's about recognizing that ACPs aren't like a standalone solution.
Right.
They're a foundation,
Okay.
but they need a supportive ecosystem to thrive.
Mm-hmm.
That's where these policy recommendations come in,
Yeah.
addressing the broader context to ensure everyone has the opportunity to benefit from increased internet access.
Let's start with something we touched on earlier.
Okay.
Digital literacy training.
Yeah.
It seems pretty obvious that just providing internet access isn't enough.
Right.
People need the skills to use it effectively.
They do.
What sorts of programs are we talking about here?
Well, think of it as building digital confidence.
Okay.
These programs can range from like basic computer skills and internet navigation to more advanced topics like creating a resume,
Okay.
finding and applying for jobs online, managing finances digitally,
Right.
or even using social media for business.
Wow, yeah.
It's about giving people the tools they need to navigate the digital world with confidence.
I imagine the specific skills needed will vary
Oh,
from
yeah.
community to community.
For sure.
How can these programs be tailored to meet those unique needs?
You're absolutely right. A one-size-fits-all approach won't cut it.
Right.
It's essential to conduct needs assessments,
Okay.
talk to residents, and partner with local organizations
Yeah.
to understand the specific digital skills
Right.
that are most relevant to that community.
So it's about really understanding the local context
Exactly.
and providing training that aligns with,
Yeah.
people's aspirations and the local job market.
For sure.
That makes a lot of sense.
It does.
And what about accessibility?
Okay.
How do you ensure these programs reach everyone who needs them?
That's crucial. Offer classes at various times and locations.
Okay.
Provide childcare and transportation assistance.
Mm-hmm.
Ensure materials are available in multiple languages.
Right.
And make the training senior-friendly if necessary.
Wow.
It's about removing those barriers to participation
Yeah.
and meeting people where they are.
It's about recognizing that everyone has different needs and circumstances.
Exactly.
The report also highlights the importance of supporting local businesses
Yeah,
in this transition to a more digital economy.
right.
What specific initiatives can help them adapt and thrive in this new environment?
Well, municipalities can play a key role here.
Okay.
They can offer workshops on e-commerce strategies,
Mm-hmm.
helping businesses set up online stores,
Okay.
optimize their websites for search engines,
Right.
and use social media effectively for marketing.
Okay.
They can also provide grants or low-interest loans
Mm-hmm.
to help businesses invest in technology upgrades
Yeah.
or digital marketing campaigns.
That's a great start.
It is.
But it seems like it goes beyond just providing resources.
Yeah,
It's about creating a culture of innovation and collaboration, wouldn't you say?
absolutely. Organize networking events
Okay.
where local businesses can connect with tech experts,
Right.
share best practices, and learn from each other's experiences. Encourage mentorship programs
Right.
where established businesses can guide newcomers
Hmm.
in navigating the digital landscape.
Right.
It's about fostering that sense of community
Yeah.
and shared learning.
It's about creating a supportive ecosystem where everyone can succeed.
Exactly.
Another policy recommendation that caught my attention
Okay.
was the focus on data collection and monitoring.
Right.
Why is this so essential in the context of ACPs?
Well, data is crucial for making informed decisions
Okay.
and ensuring that these programs deliver on their promises.
Mhm.
We need to track key metrics
Yeah.
like broadband adoption rates,
Okay.
the impact on local business revenue,
Yeah.
changes in educational outcomes,
Hmm.
and even healthcare cost savings.
Wow.
This data tells us what's working,
Okay.
what needs improvement, and
Yeah.
allows us to make adjustments along the way.
So it's about being data-driven,
Yes.
constantly evaluating and
Mhm.
refining these programs to maximize their impact.
Precisely. It's about continuous improvement
Yeah.
and ensuring that ACPs are truly transforming lives and communities.
We've covered a lot of ground in this
what
episode,
I'm gonna
exploring
stress.
the potential of affordable connectivity programs
Yeah.
to revitalize local economies.
Right.
Any final thoughts you want to leave our listeners with?
I think this has been an incredibly insightful look at ACPs and their potential.
Mm-hmm.
I'm especially struck by the idea that these programs are about more than just internet access.
Yeah.
They're about creating opportunity, fostering innovation,
Right.
and building a more inclusive and prosperous future for everyone.
That's a great way to put it. ACPs are a powerful tool for positive change,
They are.
but they're just the beginning. It's up to each community to embrace these programs,
Yeah.
address the challenges, and build a digital ecosystem where everyone can thrive.
Well said.
Thank you for joining us for this edition of Trending Tidbits.
It was my pleasure.
We hope you found it informative and inspiring. Until next time, stay curious, keep learning,
Yes.
and embrace the possibilities of a connected world.